Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Forest Edge Kart Club. You join us for round number 4 of the 2024 season, and it's a very, very special round. You join us for the Southern Championships, of course. Today, all the drivers that take the victory in the finals later on this afternoon will be taking home a lovely SC plate, which they can use for the rest of the season or until the next Southern Championships next year, and a rather large trophy as well. Now, I'm sorry, we've had a few internet issues this morning trying to get the stream up and running. I think we should be just about good to go now. We've got the cameras in, I believe. Hopefully you can hear me. Double check. Yeah, you should be able to hear me. Whether that's a positive or a negative, I'll leave that up for you to decide. We've already had a couple of races that have already completed. I will say as well, driver has just conked out outside of my commentary box at the moment, so this next race will probably be held off just for a moment as the 29 has ground to a halt already. Let's just quickly run you through what we've already had going on today. So this is the Rotax Cadet first heat of the day about to go out on circuit. We've already had heat number 1 for the Junior Rotaxes and heat number 1 for the Honda Cadets. Now, I think as maybe I would have predicted in the Honda Cadets, Arthur Way takes the first victory of the day there in the Hondas. I think it was about 3 seconds he won that race by, which isn't a huge margin for Arthur. I remember at round number 2 that I was at last time, Arthur won every single race that day and was just in a class of his own. So we'll see if that continues into today's action here at round 4. It was Freddie Worlock who took the win in the Junior Max race. That seemed to be a really, really good one. I was watching earlier. Some great battling. A few incidents as well, but understandably so. It seems to be yellow flag start on circuit, so we haven't quite got the race underway yet. The stranded car has now been saved. I'm trying to see. I don't believe they've been able to rejoin the race, so I think that's going to be immediately out for number 29. Now, who was that? I didn't cross the timing before they conked out there, sadly, so I can't tell you who that is on the number 29. But as the drivers head round sector number 3, we're just about ready to get race number 3 of the day underway. 29. Oh, that was Jack Blackman. He was supposed to be on the pole position for this race, was Jack. So your pole sitter here for race number 3 of the day looks to potentially be out already. Now, we have got the race underway. That was simply me clearly not looking what was going on, because I was looking at sector, yellow flags through sector 1, and that was because of the stricken cart. So that's totally my fault, ladies and gentlemen. We have got this race underway already, as you can see on the cameras. They're all following line of stern, all very close. Now, who's taking the lead then? It's Oakley Riggs on the number 31, who's immediately taken to the lead, because of course effectively gifted it at the start, really, due to Jack Blackman not making it even to those starting lights. Now, Ethan Coupland then was the one who effectively was gifted the pole position there. He's still there in second place at the moment, and these two already looking to break away from the rest of the pack. You've got 4 drivers following closely in behind as they come around the final corner. Start lap number 3 of this race, still as it was at the front, and your 4 that are looking very, very close and very, very feisty in this opening part of the race. Freya Bond leading Dewey Hopkins, Elijah West and Matthew Lilly. Elijah West has been very impressive. He won a lot of the races back at round number 2, I recall, and I've seen Elijah out and away. I think at Wilton Mill Kart Club was the last time I saw was Elijah out on circuit, so good to see him back here at Forest, and currently in a great little gaggle there near the front of the order. Now, Ethan Coupland on that last lap of the race did take the fastest lap so far in this one, 47.74 for Ethan. He's looking to chase down Oakley Riggs. He already has chased down Oakley Riggs. Now, he's just got to think about the move for the lead. Over the line they go then. Still the 31 leading the way, but putting some defensive moves on show here for us through sector number 1 as he's feeling the pressure from Ethan Coupland in behind. Now, if these two start battling, there's really not a huge amount of time back to Freya, Dewey, Elijah and Matthew in that train in behind, as you see them flying through the cameras through sector 1 on your screen. How long have we got left in this final? Still just trying to calm myself down after the difficulties from this morning. Get all my ducks in a row, get ready for the day's racing. 4 minutes left to go in this one, so we're almost halfway through this third heat of the day. Also, do want to mention as well, fantastic showing, a great number of entries here for round number 4, 136 in total. Huge grids throughout the day, and of course the junior road tracks as well, having to have more heats than the rest of the classes, choose the amount of entries, and then a B final later on as well. So I will, now that makes me remember I need to double check how many actually go through from the B final to the A final, but that will be a question for after the lunch break later on, because we've got a lot more action to come before we get anywhere near those finals later on today. Let's look back to the action out on track then. Matthew Lilly stole the fastest lap on the last lap of the race, so yeah, really don't count out that second pack, ladies and gentlemen. They're close and they're battling, but slight slip up from the two at the front, and they're going to be all over that battle for the lead. Across the line they come once again. Still, the 31 of Oakley Riggs holding on very nicely at the front of the order. But look at that, Elijah West has leapfrogged this battling four at the front of the order, and now leads the charge towards Oakley Riggs and Ethan Coupland. Through the first section they go once again. Some great camera shots of the Haynes Loop, of course. The fantastic CCTV cameras in operation here for your live stream today. Managed to get it back once again for round number 4, as it got such a positive reception at round number 2. And it's great to be back. I realised I haven't even introduced myself. My name's John Ratcliff. I'm going to be guiding you through the action today. At Ratters Media is where you want to go if you want to drop me a follow on any of your socials. But I will be the shouty man who guides you through today's action at the Southern Championships. Now, I will say that gap between Elijah West and the top 2 is definitely decreasing. It definitely did decrease on that last lap, and I think the key feature of that one is he's not alone in that drive towards the 2 leaders. Matthew Lilly, Dewey Hockridge, Freya Bond all very close in behind. Elijah West, Matthew Lilly and Dewey Hockridge, all 3 of those drivers were faster than the 2 leaders on the last lap, and by almost half a second on that last lap. And once again, as they come back into my eye line from the commentary box, that gap has closed once more. Minute and a half on the clock then. Lots of time for this to play out, and what was a 2-car battle for the lead is quickly becoming a 5-car battle. Across the line they come once again. I think now there's going to have to be an attempt from Ethan Coupland pretty soon. He's been sitting in the wheel tracks of Oakley Riggs for a little while now, but hasn't been able to find a way through. I hope as well, one thing to note, I hope that the audio quality today is slightly better than it was at round number 2 as well. I'm on the other side of the circuit this time. I was in the sort of martial outpost where we get the checkered flags and whatnot last time, but quite exposed to what was quite a windy day that day. A little bit more relaxed today. It's nice and sunny. It's supposed to be sunny and blue skies all day, which the drivers will be very happy about, although probably will be quite sweaty as well. And I'm in the lovely timekeeping box annoying some other people today, so it's going to be great, and it means I am sheltered from the wind and any other possible weather that we get here, because although it is summer, it's been pretty horrible as of yet. One of the nicest days actually so far this year, so great to see that the sun's come out for the Forest Edge Southern Championships. On to another lap they've gone. Less than 30 seconds on the clock now, and what was a gap between the top 2 and the rest of those drivers is now no longer. Less than a second separating those top 4. Up into the bus stop chicane, nose to tail once again. Dewey Hockridge now joining the train of 4, making it 5. Sadly for Freya Bond, she was leading that charge earlier on. She dropped to the back of it, and now she hasn't quite been able to hold on to those leaders. Around the last couple of corners we go then. There's the move for second from Elijah West. Down the inside he goes. They're going to be side by side across the line, and the 43 of Ethan Coupland going to get shuffled out wide. The 20 of Matthew Lilly tries to fight around the outside and does get it around the outside. Great move from Matthew Lilly to take 3rd place, and it's all changed to the front. This little bit of battling, dropping Ethan Coupland down into the back, is given that opportunity for Oakley Riggs to scamper away. This is the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen, so he's only got a few hundred metres here to hold on to that race win. Through the bus stop they come. Elijah West has looked quick all race, but is he close enough to think about a move here in the dying moments of this one? Round into the last couple of corners they come. Elijah West still right in the wheel tracks of Oakley Riggs, but is he close enough? Into the final corner they come. I don't think he's quite going to be close enough, and it is going to be Oakley Riggs who holds on to it, gives us the single finger to to say, I've won that race. Nobody should be proud of that one. Held off from Elijah West, Matthew Lilly, Ethan Goodwin and Drewy Hopbridge through those last couple of laps. And that was your top 5 to bring heat number 1 for Rotax Cadet to a close. Freya Brond, Toby Biggs, Travis Giddings, Ellis Honey and Rio Peacock are your top 10, and Travis Giddings in 8th place there, your top novice from that race. Ronnie Faulkner was in 11th, with Mason Munzer in 12th. Hello Mason, good to see you here at Forest Edge, a regular down at Rye House, so great to see Mason there in 12th place. Edison Burrows in 13th, Piers Taylor, Arthur Kayser, Kieran Ranger, Max Thompson there crosses the line, and soon Oscar Richards will come through on your camera shots as well, and that will be our 18th of 18 finishers in that race. For heat number 1 for Rotax Cadet done and dusted. Then again, apologies about the slightly subdued start for this morning, missing a couple of heats, issues with the internet that I think I've now managed to get sorted. So that's it, 3 races of the day already sorted, and I remember from last time how quickly we run through these heats. So Rotax Cadet is done and dusted, Rotax Inter is coming up next. On circuit comes our next heat number 4 of the day then, Rotax Inter's first time out on circuit in green flag racing conditions. Let's run you through the grid for this one. Front row of the grid, pole position for Daniel Wisniewskis. Warwick Milam joins him on that front row. Freddie Ellingham and Nate Gange are there on the second row, with Konstantin Krastep and Nathan Wong on row number 3. Arthur Brooker and Devin Taylor on row 4, with Benton Stoneman and Ethan Cousins on row number 5. They wrap out the top 10 with Oliver Dan, Harrison Stacey and Jacob Jarvis, your 3 novices there, rounding out the 13 kart grid. Now, running out a bit more time ahead of this one, well, I'll say a bit more time. Teensy one, if I can do so fast enough before they come around to start this race. Benton Stoneman leads the championship. Of course, as you can tell by when I read the grid there, he's not here today. Actually, yes he is. I just have a terrible memory. He's starting in 9th place in this race. So Benton Stoneman, your championship leader, starting P9 in this race. Warwick Milam starting P2 in this one. He's P4 in the championship. Daniel Wisniewskis 3rd in the championship. What can he do for pole position? We're underway in racing here as they head down into the first section. And all drivers keeping it nice and clean, to be fair. A couple of cheeky moves around the outside there. That's always good to see through the first couple of corners. All drivers keeping it relatively relaxed. Move for the lead though, down into sector 2. I saw someone diving it down the inside there at the bottom part of the circuit. Who is it that's nicked away that lead? I'm afraid I need to go to Specsavers, and my eyesight is not good enough to pick out any of the numbers when they're over that backside of the circuit, but we'll see when they come through to finish lap number 1 whereabouts the drivers are sitting in the pecking order. Move down the inside once again at the last corner. Is that Devin Taylor to the lead? It was. They're going to go side by side across the line. Daniel Wisniewskis and Devin Taylor are going out to the first couple of corners. What a start from Devin Taylor. And Devin Taylor has taken the lead of the race then through the first few corners. Impressive stuff from Devin. Whereabouts did he start on the grid for this one? 8th place. Wow. So Devin Taylor's gone from 8th to 1st on that first lap of the race with a 45.4, faster than any driver out there on circuit, but he is still under a bit of pressure heading into sector number 3 on lap 2. Not hugely pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment, but it's 35 for Warwick Milam, who has closed up in behind him. 27 of Wisniewskis now holds on to 3rd, but not for much longer. Into the first corner, down the inside goes Ethan Cousins, and Ethan Cousins took the fastest lap on the last lap, so watch out for him as well. He's now only got clear air between himself and Taylor and Milam in those top 2 positions, so Cousins will be wanting to quickly close up with them and turn it into a 3-way battle for the lead of the race then. As I say that, the top 2 still trying to scamper away together, and it does look as though they are working together. I know I'm going to say that, and then one of them's going to go for a move. To be fair, they haven't this time around. Into the final corner they come. Still the number 14 at the head of the field. Warwick Milam is looking very speedy out there. There was definitely the opportunity for a move there down in the first corner, but he didn't go for it. So potentially some heads-up racing there from Warwick Milam, thinking ahead a little bit more. Just thinking, still 4.5 minutes left to go in this race. If I go for this move on Devon Taylor now, we're going to hold each other up. Ethan Cousins, Daniel Wisnauskas, Nathan Ron, the rest of them aren't that far behind here. So still needing to be a little bit careful. A few contact warnings coming through. Devon Taylor, I think that's kind of understandable. He got from 8th to 1st on the first lap of the race. I'd be surprised if he didn't have a contact warning. Oliver Dan and Arthur Brooker getting one for themselves as well. Go then around the final corner, and as expected, the 17 of Ethan Cousins has closed in as they've all been battling in behind. Wisnauskas has lost out his 4th place. He's lost out 5th as well. Nathan Ronda's gone through to 4th. Benson Stoneman into 5th place. The championship leader still making a good little battle through the field. He's going to need a little bit more to get some good points in this first race. Ethan Cousins with another fastest lap of the race on that last time around. 43.69. Devon Taylor in the lead was the only driver also in the 43s, but was still a good 0.3 of a second off. Purple final sector though for Warwick Milam. So Devon Taylor, Warwick Milam and Ethan Cousins are very close on pace here. And they follow each other out in that order across the line once again. Now Ethan Cousins has nothing between himself and the 2 drivers ahead. What a championship it's been so far for him. He's got 2 final wins and 5 heat wins so far. He had one race that did not go well, a 0-pointer 16, so I can assume something's gone wrong mechanically there, or he's had an incident or something. Other than that, he's only had 1 race this whole year where he's been off of the podium, and that was a 4th place in the 2nd heat of the first round. That is incredible performances through the year for Benson Stoneman, but currently only I say, sitting in P5 in this race. James for the lead of the front row. Warwick Milam has gone for it on that last lap, and Warwick Milam is through on Devon Taylor. Devon Taylor still under pressure then from Ethan Cousins. Ethan Cousins, after having that really impressive pace, hasn't then been able to overtake the 2 drivers ahead over the last couple of laps. Just over 2 minutes left to go. Devon Taylor gets himself another contact warning, so does need to be a little bit careful here. There's of course multiple warnings, so you're going to get yourself a penalty, and you don't want one of those. I will also mention as well, any results I'm reading out today, very provisional. Make sure you head over to results.alphatiming.co.uk/FEKC to get your full results, post penalties, post anything going awry. Into a new lap they go then. Another fastest sector 2 from Warwick Milam. He was the one that had it earlier as well, so Warwick is very quick through that 2nd sector. So that will be from sort of from the end of Haynes Loop through Johnny's and down through Winders Dip and up into the bus stop. So very, very quick through that quite fast section. So maybe Warwick just putting it a bit more on a knife edge than the drivers around him, but it really is only 1/10 of a second and over a whole lap. Hundredths really in that sector, so it's all still very close. The leaders have extended somewhat though. Warwick Milam has put the pace down after taking the lead in the race, and now has a good 4 or 5 car lengths between himself, Cousins and Taylor, and on that last lap Cousins has got past on Taylor then. So incredible start of the race from Devon Taylor, from 8th to 1st place, but now he's been chased down by Milam and Cousins, drops to the back of that leading trio. I say that though, on this lap at the moment he's just set a purple sector 1, so maybe it's like a red rag to a bull for Devon Taylor. He's put so much effort in to get to the front of the field and now loses out on that leading spot. Now wanting to scamper back towards those 2 drivers. Not loud enough at all. Let's turn the start line cameras down a bit. Right, we'll put those to half volume. Let's see if that's a little bit better. So it'll be the okay. So the Haynes loop cam doesn't have any audio, but the start line does. That's where we're having our issue. So hopefully that should be a bit better in terms of audio levels now. So apologies for that if you were struggling to hear me. I mean, that might have been a huge positive for yourself through the day, but now you can hear me even better. So apologies. Right, here we go then. Last lap of the race for the Rotax Inters. Still Warwick Milam who leads us. However, fastest lap on the last lap from Ethan Cousins. Up into Sector 2 they come then. Great race from Warwick Milam to kick off the day. Benton Stoneman looking to match his sort of worst performance of the championship so far with a 4th place. But if he can continue that consistency, he's looking to wrap up this championship. And he's doing a good job of it. It's the 48. He's closed down on our leading through those last couple of laps. And it's a change to the lead, but a change once again at the last corner, back down the inside. Was that Warwick Milam retaking the win and does take it on the line? Impressive stuff from Warwick Milam there. I will immediately correct myself because it wasn't him retaking the lead. It was Warwick Milam catching and passing a back marker. It just happened to be at the last corner. So apologies for my excitement there. Good effort from Warwick Milam though. Good 0.6 of a second that win, which, as you say, it's not very much. That's not a huge win there from Warwick Milam, but a win's a win at the end of the day. Ethan Cousins and Devon Taylor, your top 3. Great start from Devon Taylor. Unbelievable start from Devon Taylor. Just couldn't quite hold on to those two as they slipped past. And Fenton Stoneman with a P4. Not bad for his championship tally. Nathan Rond was in 5th with Daniel Visnauskas there. Your pole sitter ending up in 6th place. Still a good race from him. Nate Gange, Konstantin Krastev, Harrison Stacey and Arthur Brookie, your top 10. Harrison Stacey, your top rated novice in that one. With Freddie Ellingham, Oliver Dan and Jacob Jarvis, your 13 of 13 finishers. Heat number 1 done for Rotax Inters then. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better than you could at the start of that race. I'm not even going to have to go to the holding screen, because out of the pits comes heat number 1 for Senior Rotax. Let's run you through the grid then. On the pole is your Southern Championships holder from last year. He's got the SC plate on his car going into today. Will he still have it on his car when he leaves the track today? We'll have to wait and see. Ben Ballou starts on the pole position. Matt Jones is alongside him with Alex Warnaby. Then Ben Hicks, they're on row number 2. Blake Ticehurst and Ethan Lomax are on row 3 with Bobby Rozier and Toby Case on row 4. Rufus Flan and Sam Harrison on row 5 with Aaron Asarkas and Oliver Smith on row 6. Liam Nate and George Holm are on row 7 with Elliot Rice and Dominic Cousins on row number 8. Michael Pugh and Bradley Howes are on row 9 with Emily Davidson and Matthew Lambert on row 10. And then it's Kieran Ives, Luke Evans and Aidan Blair. 23 karts on the grid today for Senior Rotax. And as they head through, cutting out the bus stop chicane, they'll head straight into Tolly's and into the start of the race. Ben Ballou, your Southern Champs on 23, leads us into the first lap of racing in Senior Rotaxes. And they all, at the moment, I was going to say, are doing okay. Someone's into the barrier immediately at the first corner. I think was just a victim of being on the outside there. Got shuffled wide into the barrier and potentially out of this race. They're dragging themselves out of the barrier and hopefully will be able to get themselves restarted. And it looks to be Ben Hicks on the number 84. He's the only driver to have not come through the timing beam and sector number 1. So I think we can assume it is the 84 of Ben Hicks. For the sharp end of the grid there, sadly, dropping not out of this race. He has got it back going, but he's just pulled in the pit. So he will be out of this race, Ben Hicks. After lap number 1 though, still Ben Ballou in the lead of the race. Himself and Matt Jones have pulled a massive gap over that first lap of the race. 1.5 seconds in the lead already is Ben Ballou and Matt Jones. It's Ethan Lomax on the 32 who leads that next train of drivers, which is pretty much the whole rest of the field now. We've got another driver looking to come into the pits. Bradley Howes it is now that's coming into the pits. And he's number neighbour of Ben Hicks, so the 83 and the 84 both out of this race now. Move for 3rd place so I can see out of my comms box window. Bobby Rozier down the inside on Ethan Lomax. Takes 3rd place for himself. And now it's the number 49 who leads the charge towards those 2 leaders. Ben Ballou, I will say, is going defensive though already down into the 1st sector. That's early for Ben to feel the need to defend from Matt Jones, but understandably so with Matt Jones taking the fastest lap of the race the last time around. Into Sector 3 they come then. Still the two leaders as they were. And in behind it's all got a little bit feisty. The gaps have extended somewhat, so I think we can expect to see a few changes on the live timing as they come through to finish another lap. Rufus Flan has got through on Blake Ticehurst. Toby Case is through on a couple of drivers, actually. He's gained 2 positions as Toby Case on the last lap. Alex Warnby is down 1 to 8th. Elliot Rice up 2 to 9th place. Who was the big loser on that one? It was Aaron Asarkas. He's down 3 places from 8th to 11th on that last lap. But it's Dominic Cousins in 15th place who takes the fastest lap then. So that just shows how close it is on the pace of the entire senior Rotax field here for the Southern Championships. And Bobby Roja, after making that move for 2nd place, is still pressing on towards the 2 leaders. But despite, I guess in the car racing terms, you say showing a bit of wing, Ben Ballou is definitely showing a bit of wing through the first couple of corners, just popping the elbow out and being like, you're not coming through. You are not coming through, Mr. Jones. But the longer that this happens, the closer and closer that Bobby Roja continues to get. It was another 0.2 of a second gain by Bobby on Ben Ballou on that last lap. Still 1.4 seconds behind, though. So realistically, Bobby needs for Matt Jones to go for a move here to shorten down this time period that it's taking him to close down the lead. He's already gone for it as he comes back into camera shot, change to the lead of the race. 87 and Matt Jones has gone for it, and it's only really gained Bobby Roja maybe a 0.2 of a second, so it's not been the biggest help there. But Matt Jones, it's a good help for him, and he goes into the lead of the race. Now there is a mechanical flag out for the number 17, that is. Dominic Cousins is going to have to return to the pit lane from 15th place, sadly for Dominic. He just got the fastest lap of the race, didn't he, on the last lap? That's now been taken back again by Bobby Roja. But Dominic Cousins, after getting the fastest lap, now finds himself returning to the pit lane. So, how the mighty have fallen there for Dominic Cousins, sadly for him. Hopefully we see him back out in heat number 2. But his race coming to a bit of an abrupt end there. On to lap number 6. Still Matt Jones and Ben Ballou at the front, but as you mentioned a couple of races ago, that gap to the leaders now starting to close once again. It was another 0.2 gained by Bobby Roja on that last lap. He's now just less than 0.9 of a second away from those 2 leaders. I'm going to attempt to share the new Facebook live stream, the new live stream link to the Facebook group while we watch the rest of this race. 2.5 minutes left to go on the clock. And still closing in at the front of the field is Bobby Roja. Aaron Asarkas has managed to get himself back into the top 10. So fair play to Aaron, that's making some more moves, but it's so close in the pack. What have we got? 9.3 seconds separating the top 17 drivers at the moment. Just a little bit close here at Forest Edge. And that creates fantastic racing for us to enjoy. Right, let's see if we can pop this in the group then. We are live. Right, new actual link is now in the Facebook group, I believe. Lovely, right, that's it. Apologies for the issues earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, that's going to be it in terms of issues for today. Sadly, for a couple of drivers on circuit, it's not been the end of issues for them today. Dominic Cousins being one of those. Shame for him to be out of this race already. Right, round the final corner they come once again. Once again, the 49 of it, Bobby Roja has closed in. 0.3 seconds. Now the gap between himself and Ben Ballou in 2nd place. And I will say, after making that move for the lead for Matt Jones, he's not been under too much pressure. I mean, he's certainly not dropped Ben Ballou at all, but Ben Ballou hasn't been able to think about the re-overtake just yet. So, of course, in these first heats of the day, you're setting yourself up for a good final. Of course, you're gaining yourself points for your total championship tally, but really, it doesn't have a huge implication on the Southern Championships for today. That's all down to the final later on this afternoon. So make sure you stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're sharing out the stream to your friends and family and anyone you think might enjoy the action. Bit of a wide moment there through the first corner for the 77. That was Aaron Asarkas, that was. I think Oliver Smith might have just slipped through there into the Haynes loop. Side by side in the background, though, that's the 47 and the 94 going at it. That was Kieran Ives making a move on Liam Natey there. That was for 14th place. Great move through the first couple of corners. It is called Johnny's. I need to trust my thoughts. I've got so many different kart tracks. Trying to remember all the corner names is nearly impossible. But it was a good move for Johnny's. Very fast left-hander, that. Impressive stuff. Right, on to lap number 11 then. Of course, we're going to have a few more laps in the senior Rotax heats. They're very, very quick karts. Through they come. Matt Jones leading this race then as we do head on to the last lap of this first heat here for senior Rotax. Matt Jones, what an impressive race it's been for him. Now, on that last lap, Ben Ballou and Bobby Rozier were faster, but doesn't matter. If you're faster, you can be as fast as you like. If you can't get past, there's no benefit of that pace then, is there really? Through sector 3 they come then. Matt Jones still holding on. I don't think Ben Ballou's close enough to even think about a dive bomb here at the last corner. He's not going to be close enough. Round the final corner they come. And Matt Jones takes the win in the first senior Rotax heat of the day. So we were saying as he went into that race, pole position holder Ben Ballou, also Southern Championships holder from 2023. Will he be able to hold on to it through the rest of today and through the rest of the year towards 2025's event? Well, first time of asking. And it doesn't seem like he can. Matt Jones has pipped him to maximum points from Heat 1. We'll have to keep an eye on that through the rest of the day. Bobby Rozier, as you mentioned, rounds out that top 3. The rest of your top 10 were Rufus Flan, Elliot Rice, Blake Ticehurst, George Hulme, Toby Case and Oliver Smith, your top 10. Then Aaron Asarkas just missing out there on the top 10 and 11th place. Behind him, Sam Harrison, Alex Warnaby, Kieran Ives, Liam Natey, Michael Pugh, Luke Evans, Matthew Lambert, Aidan Blair there, your top novice in 19th. Emily Davidson rounding out the top 20. And sadly, we lost Dominic Cousins to a mechanical flag on lap 5. We lost Bradley Howes on lap 1, who pulled it into the pits, and Ben Hicks on the first lap as well. That's it then for heat number 1 of senior Rotax. We'll see them back out for heat number 2 later on before the lunch break. Race number 5 of the day done and dusted, then race 6 up next is heat number 2 for junior Rotax. Honestly, I think I don't even need to move to the waiting screen anymore here at Forest Edge because the operations are so fantastic here. We run through the heat so quickly, which is great for everyone racing here at Forest Edge. Not so great for my voice, but hey, we'll make it work. Heat number 2 for junior Rotax. They're getting ready to go. Chase Rainsbury and Jack Price are on the front row of this one, but of course, junior Rotax, we've got quite a few heats today because we've got so many entries. We'll run you through the running order then, but it's Chase Rainsbury and Jack Price who lead us to the race start. And already getting feisty, a couple of drivers nearly getting forced onto the grass on the exit of the first corner. But drivers doing very well to just about give each other enough space. I say that, absolute send there from number 11. That's Harvey Lee Winteridge, round the outside of a couple of drivers through Haynes Loop and then into Johnny's send down the inside. No fear there from Harvey. Still Chase Rainsbury who holds onto the lead of the race. Attempt for the move for second, can't go for it, so the driver behind says thank you very much and steals away third place. Great battling in the mid-pack then as they come through the final sector. We'll see what the running order is after lap number 1. It is the 71 in the lead, so no, Jack Price stole away the lead early on there. What's happened to Chase Rainsbury? Down to 7th place on that first lap, so it's not been a great lap 1 there for Chase Rainsbury. The number 60 dropping down the order on the Birrell ART chassis. But Jack Price, a great start from second place, takes the lead early on and already has 8 tenths when they came across the start-finish line. Dylan Morton leading that charge though back towards him. He's got Maxine Smith, Dalton Hayward, Jesse Whitmore, loads of drivers for company there at the sharp end of the order. Zach Burke and Maxime Smith already getting a contact warning though. Is that a move for second place at the last corner? Number 30, Maxime Smith goes for it. Relegates Dylan Morton to third, but I think potentially Dylan might have lost out even more from that. As through Johnny's they come then. Who's in third place now? It is the 69er Dalton Hayward. So Dalton has followed through on Maxime. Relegates Dylan Morton out of the top three, as a driver I've just seen there has dived into the pit lane. So I'll double check who that is, who's just retired from the race then. But Dalton Hayward on the number 69 goes for the move for second place. There it is, down the inside he goes. Dalton moving through the order very nicely. It was up at midgets that move was made. Through goes Dalton Hayward then. Pressing on towards the leader now. There's the move for fourth. Down the inside goes the 50 of Jesse Whitmore. So that's Dylan Morton relegated now to fifth place. Jesse Whitmore on the number 50 on the LN kart goes through into fourth place. Dalton Hayward again with the fastest lap on the last lap. 41.78 for Dalton. He's within half a second the leader now. And was 3/4 of a second faster than the leader on the last lap. There's the move for the lead. Once again up at midgets. Dalton Hayward goes for it. Dalton Hayward takes the lead. Who's close in behind though? So Maxime Smith now goes for it down the inside of the last corner. And Maxim takes second place then. And round the outside goes the 19. So the 71 in the space of 3 corners is going to lose 3 places. So Dylan Morton. That's a good fight back from Dylan Morton then. Back into the top 3 he goes from a difficult previous lap of the race. And Jack Price this time on the 71 is the one to lose out. Slipping from first to fourth place over the space of about half a lap. Already Dalton Hayward pressing on the lead of this one. He has about, I'd say, from eyesight alone, it's about 7/8 tenths of a second in the lead as they come through sector 3. Three and a half minutes left to go on the clock. What is that gap as they come across the line? 1.1 seconds now as they cross the line. Dalton Hayward, another fastest lap of the race. Few more drivers are joining him in the 41 second mark. But while they're in the 41.9s, 41.8s, he's in the 41.5s. As all crash outside the window I've just seen. Through Johnny's, someone gets spun around. It was the number 11 there who just got turned around. Harvey Lee Wintridge, who we saw ploughing through the order earlier on. We saw him go for a send at Johnny's on lap number 1. Well, someone sent him on lap number 5. So number 11, Harvey Lee Wintridge, is going to drop right down to the back of the order, sadly for him. As it looked to be a bit of a send down the inside from someone, just spinning him round onto the grass, but he does rejoin. A couple of drivers needing to be careful. Well, I say that. Zach Burke's already got 3 contact warnings on the live timing. So Zach Burke needs to be very careful. On the 57, Zach's in 10th place at the moment. Another fastest lap from Dalton Hayward, though, so he's going to extend the gap to over 1 3/4 seconds now. So Dalton Hayward looking to have this one in the bag already. We've still got over 2 minutes to go. The front of the order starting to get a little subdued now as the gaps form between the drivers. Dylan Morton still in second. Maxime Smith only about 3 or 4 tenths behind. Then Jack Price and Jesse Whitmore come across the line. There's Leo Barsterfield in 6th place as someone's gone straight across the grass. So 2 drivers have come together into the last couple of corners, and the 22 has decided to go straight across the grass. The 22 is Rebecca Chalice. Now, is Rebecca going to continue on? She is going to continue on, but she's going to lose a lap there because, of course, she went straight across from the second to last corner to the second corner, which means she hasn't gone across the live timing beam. So Rebecca Chalice is going to drop to the back of the field and lose a lap effectively. I think it was Matthew Grove, potentially Luca Cook, who was involved in that scuffle with her. Yeah, Luca Cook did a 51.4, so it must have been